The Diocese of Fort Wayne South Bend is speaking out about the decision by an all-women's Catholic college in Indiana to admit biological men who identify as women. In a statement yesterday, Bishop Kevin Rhoades said the decision by St. Mary's College in South Bend is at odds with the Catholic teaching. He added that the school's desire to show hospitality to people who identify as transgender is not the problem. The problem is a Catholic women's college embracing a definition of a woman that is not Catholic. We go now to Amber Duke, Washington editor at The Spectator. Amber, great to have you back on. A lot to get to, but first, let's talk a little bit more about St. Mary's College. I mean, apparently the college president put out an email that is stating in part that the school is, quote, by no means the first Catholic women's college to adopt a policy with this scope, and that by admitting those who identify as women, quote, encompasses our commitment to operate as a Catholic women's college. Amber, your thoughts on that?
It's just beyond disturbing and unfortunately a trend among many Catholic colleges to really reject traditional Catholic theology and Catholic teaching. I mean, the reality is that if you read about the church's stance on gender ideology in a document from Bishop Burbidge from the Arlington Diocese, he lays out very clearly that the church is required and its patrons are required to adhere to biological truth, that God did not put people in the wrong bodies, and that God did not make it so that people could become a member of the opposite sex. He created them man and woman. And for a Catholic college to suggest that a man who believes he is a woman is somehow on equal par and deserves the same protection as a biological woman is just wrong. And I feel so deeply for the young women there who are having to go through this situation without having the power available to them to properly fight back and protect their own rights.
Yeah, and as a parent, if I'm sending my daughter to a Catholic college that is single sex, I mean, there's a reason for that. So when the school changes its policy like this, Amber, what kind of message do you think it sends to parents and also students?
I think it's a good reminder to parents to be very careful about where they send their kids to college and how they're spending their money. I think this would definitely be grounds for a transfer, right? If you went into this college and paid all of this money believing that your daughter was going to be able to have a single sex space and that was violated by the president there, I mean, at the very least, you should get a refund. You should definitely send your daughter somewhere where they're interested in actually protecting her rights. I just can't imagine both for the parents and the young women being put in that situation and having to make such a difficult decision that impacts both their safety, their mental health, as well as their professional future. It's really just a shame to see.
Yeah, Amber, something else I'm going to talk about. You know, the holiday season, it's upon us right now. And most retailers, that is, have their Christmas items on full display, including Target. In fact, a few of their items are raising eyebrows right now, including a gay pride nutcracker figure and Santa Claus with a same-sex pride rainbow flag. Amber, what do you make of Target's decision here to sell these items around the Christmas holiday, especially after it received so much customer backlash for, you know, some of its LGBTQ products during so-called Pride Month?
Right. I mean, I never expect corporations to adhere to any particular values. I think corporations tend to value profit margins more than pretty much anything else, which is, I guess, one of the reasons why this was so surprising, as you mentioned, after they faced boycotts and backlash for previous pride lines targeting children. To go ahead and add this to the Christmas holiday seems like an unwise decision for a business that has already seen their profits decline because of those choices. I think it's a problematic trend, though, among all of corporate America that the Christmas season has become very commercialized and has really lost the underlying meaning, of course, which is the birth of Christ. And having these items that have messages that really run counter to Christianity is just a troubling sign of the times, I think, in society, that many people have really lost the real reason for the season, as it's said.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of troubling, we have maybe just a minute left, but this is what I want to talk about. It's troubling. The National Railroad Museum in Wisconsin received a lot of backlash, too, after it allowed the Satanic Temple to display a tree decorated with things like pentagrams at its annual Christmas tree festival. Christmas, of course, after all, is a Christian holiday, Amber.
Yes, the Satanic Temple has been causing all kinds of stirs around the country. They've recently come under fire for trying to add after-school Satan clubs to a number of elementary schools around the country, most notably near where I live in Norfolk, Virginia. And they are intentionally trying to divide people and rile people up. And I think it's important to remember that although the people in the Satanic Temple might claim to not believe in Satan and demons and versus evil, but that doesn't mean that they're not perpetuating it with their actions. And so all of us, I think, need to be careful when we see these people in action to understand that these things are very real and they have real effects on our lives, and to stay far, far away.
Absolutely. Amber, great to have you on and great to get your insights. We appreciate it.
Thank you.